2024 exhibition organized by Indian Electrical and Electronics Manufacturer Association, an event which promotes and supports the new innovation in the Indian electrical and electronics manufacturing industry, supporting the green energy transitions at a bigger scale. The event was inaugurated by the Union Minister of Power and New and Renewable Energy, Shri Singh, who on the occasion spoke about supporting the Make in India manufacturing and also how the power sector enhanced the growth in the recent past. So come, let's take you to his press address and some glimpses from the knowledgeable talks from the event showcased at the Bombay Exhibition Centre, NESCO, Goregaon, Mumbai.
We are emerging as a world power in power manufacturing. Our country is the fastest growing large economy. Our power sector is also the fastest growing power sector in the world. We've added 29 million consumers. Our installed capacity has gone up by almost about 80%. Our demand has almost gone up by 85% in the past 7-8 years. Availability of power has gone up to near 24 hours. Generators have become history. And the rate at which we are growing, our installed capacity is going to double by 2031. And our consumption is also going to go up to our peak demand is going to go up to almost about 370,000 megawatts. Right now the peak demand is 243,000 megawatts. The peak demand grew from 130,000 megawatts to 243,000 megawatts in just 8 years. And that's going to go to 366,000 megawatts. And we'll continue growing. Because unless we grow, the country can't grow. Electricity actually powers everything. And we are doing it. Now export electricity, we make everything here. We are the fastest growing renewable energy capacity in the world. Our capacity is one of the fastest growing in the world.
Sir, your government has infused 17 lakh crore during the past 9 years. What's your commitment for the next 5 years or so?
I think we will be crossed that by about 1.5 times. That's the rate at which we are growing. I'm going to add right now I have 180,000 megawatts of renewable energy capacity. That's going to go up to 500,000 megawatts. That's going to more than double. I'm adding 90,000 megawatts, 80,000 megawatts of thermal. I'm going to add almost about 40,000 megawatts of hydro. The investment is going to go up to almost 34-35 lakh crores.
It is indeed a very proud moment for us to have in our midst the man who has transformed the entire power sector of India. Sir, we are indeed privileged to have you with us to inaugurate the 6th edition of DistribuELEC and the 3rd edition of BuildELEC. As we stand here on the threshold of a new era, let us take a moment to reflect on the incredible growth and development of the power sector in India. India has become a powerhouse, in fact, quite literally speaking, from being power deficit to being power surplus. The commitment to providing uninterrupted power supply has been instrumental in driving the economic development across various sectors. The Power for All, the ambitious initiative of your ministry, has not only contributed to the economic growth of urban India, but has also provided a crucial role under the Ghar Ghar Bijli initiative, providing electricity to the remotest part of the country, thereby improving their livelihoods and quality of life in rural India.
When I joined in my ministry, I saw a perverse outlook in the field of transmission, for example. And the policy and the idea in the transmission sector was that let the load come and then we shall provide the transmission. The load will come after you provide the transmission, because without electricity, there is no industrialization. So I had to change it. I had to struggle to change it. That you have to build the transmission before the load. You have to anticipate the load. That is the outlook which we have had to change. But we've done it. And the scale of what we have done is mind-boggling. When our government came to office in 2014, the peak demand was about 130 odd gigawatts. And today we've already touched a peak demand of 243,000 megawatts, an increase of 80%. That's the rate of growth, and 80% growth in this. We have increased our established capacity by almost about 71%, 72% to meet this demand. Today, our established capacity is about 426 gigawatts. It used to be about 280 gigawatts or 270 gigawatts when we came into office. We've added that much. We've added almost about 180, 190,000 megawatts of generation capacity. And yet, when we started this, We felt that no, we added 90,000 megawatts thermal all told. We added about 107,000 megawatts of renewables all told, etc. Now, I felt that we had added enough and we had surplus, but the growth which we spurred actually, outpaced even my expectations. So we added capacity, we increased transmission lines, added almost about 190,000 circuit kilometers of transmission lines. We strengthened our distribution by spending almost 2 lakh crores under the Indian Jyoti Yojana, the IPDS and Saubhagya, etc. By constructed about 3,000 substations, upgraded almost about 4,000 substations, about 8.5 lakh of HT lines, LT lines, almost about 8 lakh new transformers, etc. We added all this. Because of this, the demand picked up. This was one reason. Why? Because of course, the one major thing was that we collected every village, every home, and we collected almost about 29 million homes, 18,000 odd villages. So all that added to the increase in demand which we see now. And the rate at which it is increasing is something which I had also not imagined possible. For a period of about 3 months or so, the rate of increase was almost about 20%. But last year we grew at 9%. This year we expect that we'll grow at about 10%. We'll keep growing. You see, India is an economy which is going to keep growing. Now, that is what we have to prepare for. And we have to make this growth possible. The economists say that we'll continue with a rate of growth of almost 7% for the next 3 decades. Now, this means that we'll have to grow at the same rate for the next 3 decades. We have tried to bring about energy efficiency so as to decouple the GDP growth to some extent from power intensity. We've tried to bring down the power intensity by energy efficiency measures, which have also been very successful. But despite that, energy efficiency, our rate of growth has to be about 7% year on year for the next 30 years. That's what this is going to be. Our installed capacity in 2031 will be about 900 gigawatts. Today it's about 426 gigawatts. It will be about 900 gigawatts. I expect our demand also to grow up. My people tell me that the peak demand will be about 366,000 megawatts by 2030. I think it will be slightly more. I think it will be almost around 400 gigawatts. That's what the peak demand is going to be. You have to double. Our consumption is going to double, so everything is going to double. Just imagine. So you have to double the number of transformers which we have installed. We have to double the length of LT lines. We have to double the length of HT lines. We have to double the number of meters. We have to double everything. So that's a stupendous, humongous challenge before us. But that is something which is an indicator of growth. So you have to grow, and you have to grow faster. One thing which I want from you, and that is that I want to grow not on the basis of any imported element. Right now, we make most things ourselves here. But still we import some things. I don't want those imports either. I want everything. I want 100% make in India. So that is something which we have to make possible.
Our deepest gratitude goes to our chief guest, the Honorable Cabinet Minister of Power, New, Renewable Energy, the star power of the Cabinet, Shri R.K. Singh ji. Sir, your esteemed presence has not only graced this event, but also highlighted the government's commitment in transforming the power sector. We extend our compliments to the government for its notable achievements. IEEMA is dedicated in collaborating with you, sir, to realize our nation's objectives. Rest assured, IEEMA and its members will constantly support and work in tandem with your good self in the government. And at the end, I would just like to request, sir, I stand in front of you as an MSC member, and on behalf of all the MSC members and SME, sir, I thank you for giving us hope and the opportunity. And I assure you that in the coming times, India will witness merging billion-dollar companies from this MSME segment, sir.